Welcome back everyone. Today we're going to review Overwatch 2, the sequel of Blizzard competitive hero shooter. The game is currently receiving diametrically opposed opinions. The game is acclaimed by the critic while it is booed by the players. I agree with both opinions and I think I understand the phenomenon. So we'll analyze Overwatch 2 from two points of view. First, we'll look at it as a game in its own right from the perspective of a new player. Then, as a sequel to the first opus, from the perspective of an Overwatch player. For those of you who already know what Overwatch is about, I invite you to skip to the next section of this video. Overwatch is a competitive multiplayer hero shooter. Each match, you choose a hero from a roster of 30. Heroes are divided into three archetypes: tank, support, and damage. The objective of the damage heroes is to eliminate the opposing heroes, while the objective of the tank is to push the enemy defense line by providing cover to allied heroes. Finally, the support heroes will restore the life of allied heroes. Each hero has his own weapon and two active abilities with a recharge time of 10 to 30 seconds. The heroes also have an ultimate ability that can be used a few times per match. This ability is extremely powerful and decisive in an engagement with the enemy. In my opinion, the list of available heroes is the strength of Overwatch. Each hero is unique and they're all quite interesting. So I think everyone will find a hero they like within the selection of heroes available. Among the damage type of heroes, there is Soldier 76, who has a national rifle and plays like Call of Duty. There is Tracer, a fast character with two submachine guns who can teleport short distances and rewind time itself. Or Pharah, who has a missile launcher and flies over the battlefield with a jetpack. As for the tank, we have Reinhardt, who has a hammer and can make a shield appear before him. Junker Queen, with her shotgun, is able to regenerate her own knife passively. She can also throw her knife and bring it back to her like Thor and Kratos. Diva is inside a mech that can shoot without having to reload. She can run at enemies with her jetpack and make a shield appear in front of her. When she is killed, she actually comes out of her mech that can be recalled if she is not killed again rapidly. As far as the support characters are concerned, we have Mercy, who has a staff that can give life to allied heroes or increase their attack while flying to their rescue. Anna has a sniper that can shoot at enemy heroes to do damage or shoot at her allies to restore their life points. Or Baptiste, who has a grenade launcher that restores life to allies. The matches are 5v5, in which we normally find one tank, two support, and two damage heroes. As for the game modes, they favor above all teamwork and the grouping of heroes. That's why we don't really find any deathmatch mode. We have control, where we have to maintain a control point. Unlike other shooters where you have to control 3 checkpoints, here you only have one. Then there's escort, in which you have to escort a card from the allied base to the enemy base. Push is a new mode in Overwatch 2 in which you have to push a barrier into the enemy base and the enemy tries to do the same. In order to push the barrier, you must have the help of a robot that can be controlled by only one of the teams. When the robot pushes the barrier, it moves slowly, but when it changes side, it starts to run quickly across the map. By the way, Overwatch 2 has a good selection of maps. However, I find that they all look more or less the same in terms of structure. They are all corridor shaped to fit the escort and push game modes. In short, the gameplay is extremely fun and addictive, and the large selection of heroes keeps the gameplay refreshing. Since it is a game with only a competitive multiplayer component, there is no story. However, Blizzard has made a few short animated movies about the universe and the characters. This may interest some players, but I doubt that the majority of the players are interested in the story of Overwatch. The graphics of the games are very nice. Being a Blizzard game, the art direction has a cartoon style. Personally, I love this type of art for a game in which we find a variety of heroes in a futuristic world. The music is quite standard for a multiplayer game, nothing to say about that. At the beginning of the game, the heroes sometimes talk to each other. Each hero seems to have his own personality, which is good. So, in summary, if you have never played Overwatch before, I strongly recommend this second opus. In fact, you get Overwatch 1 for free with some addition. A game that in 2016 won the title of Game of the Year. New players who start with Overwatch 2 will be put into a new player experience in which they will have to complete several matches in order to gradually unlock all heroes and game modes. In my opinion, this is not a problem. In fact, it adds an interesting progression component. Now, we'll approach the review from the point of view of a player who played the first Overwatch. Overwatch 2 brings very little new. The team size have been reduced from 6v6 to 5v5. Personally, I don't see a difference, but it certainly has an impact on the competitive player. Each team has one less tank. A new push game mode has been added, as well as some new maps. The graphics have been improved, as well as the resolution of the character models. Nothing very impressive, you have to see the before and after to see the differences. Finally, 3 new heroes join the game: Sojourn, Junker Queen, and Kiriko. Like the old heroes, the new ones are all equally fun to play. Personally, I like Sojourn, who looks like Shoulder 76 but with a weapon that has a second sniper-like shooting option to finish off enemies. Unfortunately, we already seen all the new features of Overwatch 2, so I understand the frustration of all players given the small amount of new features. Especially since Overwatch 2 was announced back in 2019 and a single player campaign had also been announced. As you could see at release, this campaign is absent from the game. However, it seems that this campaign is now planned for 2023 to be followed. As for the business model, Overwatch has become free to play, so we find the Battle Pass model, which is very popular these days in competitive multiplayer games. By completing daily and weekly challenges, you get experience that allow you to increase your Battle Pass level. With each level, you can unlock either a costume or an emote for a hero, or other cosmetics such as images and banners for your profile. However, players who have not paid for the Battle Pass Premium will only unlock about 1 of 10 items. Also note that Kiriko, the new support hero, can only be unlocked via the Battle Pass. Those with the Premium Battle Pass will instantly unlock the new hero, while free-to-play players will have to complete the good majority of the Battle Pass. Blizzard has mentioned that in the next season, those who don't unlock the new hero will be able to do so via special challenges, but we don't know more about that. I'm a little worried about the survival of this business model in the future. Overwatch 2 has been in production for at least 3 years, and in 3 years, Blizzard has only been able to deliver a few maps and 3 new heroes. For this business model to be viable, Blizzard will have to release new content every new season. But this is indeed the best business model to promote for this type of game. It allows in theory to have wave of new content continuously. Moreover, since the game is free, it is easy to convince your friend to play it. We must also say that the launch of Overwatch 2 was not a smooth one. During the first week, there were endless waiting lines to get into the game. However, the problem seems to be solved now. There are also 2 heroes, Torbjorn and Bastion, that have been expelled from the hero roster during competitive matches due to bugs. Finally, for PC player out there, with an AMD 6800 XT, I was able to run the game in 4K at over 60 frames per second. So, to conclude, if you have never played Overwatch before, I highly recommend it. It is, in my opinion, the best hero shooter on the market. Moreover, the game being free, you don't lose anything. However, if you have played Overwatch before, you should lower your expectation of the game. In my opinion, Blizzard made a mistake by calling the game Overwatch 2. It's more like the free-to-play edition of Overwatch, so if you want to see the few new features, then play it, otherwise, skip it. With that, I leave you and wish you a good game session.